Last day of February 2026. I tried to do a little cooking today, and now the smell of it is making me sick. Seriously. It's dizzying. Oh. Got the windows open and the door, but it's not enough. What's that you say? Strange lighting. Don't worry about that. You don't know shit. You don't know. But yeah, it is. All right. So this is from October 2025. I'm pretty sure I read this, but anyways, really quick, there's a picture of the White House. Didn't I say that before? Alright. Feel nauseous. Wow, this here about cranberries. Wow. Yeah, I guess I need to find me a much older gentleman with an estate so that when we get into a fight, I can be like, what did the October issue of Successful Farming say? That would explain everything, I'm sure. And then I can be employed to care. But yeah, I mean, you know, it can be hard to track some of these things down sometimes. No, it's so funny because talking about censorship, so funny is that it actually requires effort to make things available. So it's not necessarily censorship, but it is funny when that thing exists and then like you can't get to it. Maybe it doesn't, you know what I mean? Like maybe that's why I can't. I don't know. Thinking about certain kinds of tools and things. You know, of course, you know what I mean. But that's more a matter of like probing, you know, like what is made available. Oh gosh. I don't know about you, but it's not that I think everything exists in perpetuity. I do think that I made an argument for age appropriateness and you know, where people are, you know, inconsecutively, you know, I can't really say that much about that, but it's not like there's like you know, mandatory flea market like where you have to like go and like check out all of the contemporary tools. People don't do that. You know, it's still like a mystery. It's still like, what is this? How do I, like, where, when? You know, everything is so mysterious. And I feel like that's a little unnecessary. Like, how many islands do we need, you know? And also, I don't know, I just don't like this whole, like, incessant, like, explorer savior complex. It's like, bruh, like, be normal, you know? Jeez. If you are so smart, you might think that you had established something like this to achieve. Anyways, just saying, like, so crazy how much dedication is actually required for something to be, like, really meaningful. And so it's kind of crazy to, like, think of these microcosms that are grade school or, like, you know, extracurricular or something, and it's like, yeah, it's pretty difficult to achieve, but I don't know, I've been thinking about this. And most of the time, people aren't really trying to solve a problem. I think that is really representative and exemplary of the climate. If they were, there would probably be something very elaborate, a very elaborate scheme to go with it. But why? Well, not because, you know, it's the beginning of time or anything, but people always want to act like they're a hero because they're willing to go first, but then they plan to subject people to exactly as much for the rest of time. And it's like, that's not how. I know that. So, what is it? Not going first. No. It's about commitment. It's about dedication. And it's about, I'm really thinking about what to say next. Basically, you know, the standardized issue is not, even for as glamorous or sensational as it may be, it's not nearly as good as the option where someone else has also invested. And I die on that hill. But yeah, it's crazy because people don't have a lot going on in their heads for some reason. Probably because they're listening to too many other people. But I don't like this whole like ostracization, isolation, like attitude. And you know, I think part of it is that like people are too, how to say, what it broche some, they're too like like they try to downplay the situation too much. And what happens is that at times when the bravest thing they could do is just like actually ask for help, they don't, because they think that they're the best bad guy that could happen. They think they know the landscape better, and they say, oh, you know, if I'm here in this position, then I must, you know, be the baddest. And also the they think they'll be the most, you know, innocent or something. And actually that's not nearly as helpful as trying to be nice or doing the right thing. It seems really obvious, but I do have to tell you that. And so part of it is that people think something really fabulous happened, or they swore that, you know, they were autonomous or that they were, you know, confident in their choices, but then somehow they get bullied in a negotiation in their mind, and so they don't want to try again, or they don't want to comment on what happened or whatever. They try to be too proud about how they can get by with what they already bargained, but that's not how to live. If you have to just like prove how you never have to ask for help because you thought the most perfect thing, the first thought that you ever thought, and you never need to think ever again, well, that's not how. So, yeah, I'm not impressed with your freaking influencing and your freaking brand deals and all of this, because guess what? I was just saying this. I started going bulk on these popular products or whatever. And guess what changes is that, like, it's not really just about my preference as one person. I have siblings. And if I'm going to think of myself as a sibling, I'm going to think of things slightly differently. And so, yeah, I need a dozen different options at a time. And I don't know, it's just funny how, like, thinking like that, I don't know, it creates more confidence. There's more trust. And it's not necessarily about loyalty, but There's, you know, definitely something to be said for hope or faith. And just saying that if you or someone you know was injured by something phenomenal and magical, please call 911. Or something like that. Because you're not doing anyone any favors. And well, I can say that because of my conviction in parliament and governance and things like this. Because who gets to do the deals? Well, the United States is 250 years old. You might have, you know, been able to think of what it's been like in the last century. But who does the deals? Well, you know, it's like this. Who believes in the system the most? Who is going to be the most grounded and, you know, the best representation or example of some sort of how to say contract, because I don't think that's obvious. And with that, you know, comes the tools and the guides or, you know, things like this. And so vote for me, Persephone Zephyr, for being a grounded leader. It is my goal to not be boring and also feel really safe. And ow. So basically, I'm just saying, like, I think the host or the you know, like, what's the word, concierge or something of this has been very laissez-faire and somehow very kind of passe, but even still not obvious that they don't have a responsibility, regardless of how much they act like they could not be bothered. I still would have more expectations for someone who thinks that they are in a position to influence leaders. I would not do things so ignorantly or arrogantly. So I don't know what that means for like where we're going, but I would just like to say that, you know, my principles are surrounding infrastructure and documentation, and I believe in equitable systems. I believe in maybe not, you know, exact UBI parity, but I do believe in, you know, like I said earlier, this sort of mandatory flea market of like having to acknowledge, having to, you know, recognize what is a safe standard for things, and you know, obviously how capable you are of participating in those services, and basically going from there. Yep, that means everybody has to leave the house at some point, but I'm not sorry. Anyways, just something to think about. And thanks for nothing. And yes, I still hate my life. Yes. All right. Bye.